US and allies set to announce coordinated sanctions on China over Uyghurs genocide.
Here's a summary of the article.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken speaks to the media after a closed-door morning session of US-China talks in Anchorage, Alaska on March 19. Frederick J. Brown, Pool via app. The United States, Canada, Britain, and the European Union are set to announce an array of sanctions on China on Monday over what U.S. officials have called a genocidal campaign against Uyghur Muslims, according to two people familiar with the issue. The sanctions are expected to vary in type, and will include global Magnitsky economic sanctions on individuals alleged to be involved with the mistreatment of the Muslims in the Xinjiang region of China. The EU this morning approved sanctions against 4 Chinese officials involved in the internment of hundreds of thousands of Uyghurs. The coordinated campaign of sanctions comes as Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on his way to visit European officials in Brussels. Blinken was among the U.S. officials who held a tense meeting with top Chinese officials in Alaska last week. A U.S. government official and another person familiar with the issue confirmed the plans.
This post received a score of 44,000, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
China immediately sanctioned several EU members.
They sanctioned 5 MEPs and 2 NGOs. It's a tit for that and everybody tries to avoid sanctions which will cause economic damage. I mean, at the moment those 5 MEPs can't shop at AliExpress anymore. That's the level of sanctions which we throw on each other at the moment.
Damn Western countries doing more to protect Muslims than actual Muslim countries lol. You never hear any Turks or Saudis fighting for the Uyghurs.
Do they consider them Muslims? Is this like Sunni versus Shiite? I don't know, and politics have ulterior motives to the point where everything's disheartening.
A few months ago everyone was complaining that nothing was being done, and now that something is. They don't really care about the Uyghurs.
Greater than the U.S. sanctions targeted 2 individuals. Greater than the EU on Monday morning approved sanctions against 4 Chinese officials. It's a start, I guess. Greater than. It's hard to say exactly how much financial damage the new sanctions will do. But given the coordination with Europe, Britain and Canada, it packs a symbolic punch.
It should be noted that the US had previously sanctioned many more officials. They just added 2 more to the list.
It should also be noted that individual sanctions are important because of legal shenanigans that can be used to get around the pain of sanctions on foreign entities. The 2 people we hit in this are party bigwigs. We have to make their power players feel the heat directly, or they won't feel anything at all.
She is particularly against Chinese parking money outside the country. What are the chances these bigwigs have assets in the West?
Slim to no chance this does anything to hurt them.
Sanctions will target other things besides assets they hold around the world. Financial institutions and corporations. Citizens won't be allowed to do business with anything they're involved in.
The EU sanctions are not over genocide, but human rights abuses. This title is misinformation.
That's why it's in quotes.
Sure. But it makes it seem that the US allies also agree on the label, a label which the EU has avoided in their sanctions. The title literally implies that the US allies agree on the genocide label.
It's targeted sanctions on a few individuals and maybe some companies. Far from sanctions on China. This doesn't amount to much, unfortunately.
Conservatives will be thrilled. Imagine, since they kept saying Biden would never do anything against China. Never mind that Trump did nothing about Uyghurs himself.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.